Well, a very good afternoon to everybody. I'm a bit out of breath because I've been outside digging up potatoes. Now, of course, this is towards the end of summer in the Celtic calendar, and it is very soon, the 1st of August, the beginning of Lughnasadh. Lughnasadh is the first harvest. So Lughnasadh, like all the other Celtic seasons, spans roughly about 3 months. And so you'd have about four and a quarter moons in that time. 3 and a quarter moons in that time. So I've been out here digging up potatoes and been working over the past few days just tidying up the gardens and cutting things back and mowing the paths. But I'm sure you want to see my spuds. Yes, the old spuds. So, do you remember during the late spring, I planted up this half barrel? That was the half barrel that had the evergreen tree in it that I planted down in the woodland gardens. So I planted up the half barrel with some potatoes, some seed potatoes. Now, it was rather late. I should have put them in much earlier. But look what I've got from my half barrel. I've got a really good bucket of spuds. I don't know how many kilos are in there, but they're going to be delicious. Homegrown potatoes, nothing like them. And I've got lots of mint in the garden as well, so I'm going to do potatoes and mint. Because minted new potatoes are just delicious. So, that was worth doing, wasn't it? Now also, I've been harvesting a few of the blackcurrants. Now I've got to be honest and say mostly the blackcurrants have gone to the birds, but that's fine with me because I no longer make jam. I don't make jam. So I eat the blackcurrants fresh. So I'll just show you some of the beautiful blackcurrants that I've been eating, sharing with the blackbirds mostly. The blackbirds love to go in here and pick away at the blackcurrants. Have all these feasts. Yeah. There you hear one of the blackbirds flitting out there. I'm just looking round. You see, look, there's a few in here, but you can see where the blackbird's been as well. Because look, she's been taking off a lot of these beautifully juicy blackcurrants, which are just delicious. But if you go deeper in, have a good old forage, you can see. And there's also lots and lots of raspberries coming up. Gosh, I am out of breath, aren't I? But I have been working very hard. And look, see my earthy hands here. I've been harvesting raspberries as well. Do you know, it's such a beautiful day because it's much cooler. So there's a beautiful coolness now, which is just made being outdoors quite wonderful. You can see I've been mowing the paths. Look at the beautiful roses out. Do you remember I only planted this last year? Just in 1 year, look, it's come into absolute abundance. How wonderful is that, huh? Okay, I'll just take you on a little bit further now. You can see where I've thrown all the grass mowings down there. The Lysimachia punctata is up. I do love perennial flowers because you don't really have to work at a garden when you've got perennial flowers. Oh, there's a path I missed. I need to get the mower back out. Now, as fast as these blueberries are ripening, I think the birds are having them. Yes, look. There's been a few picked off there. But that's okay. I forage with the birds. We sort of forage together. We all get a good share. There's the meadow sweet. This is beautiful. Little wee sniff. Oh, it's just divine. It smells of sweet almond. Gorgeous. I must try some of these flower heads because they're great for tea, you know, for making tea. And I think meadowsweet has the aspirin, what we call aspirin in it. So it's a bit of a pain relief thing as well. A lot of mint underneath a lot of berries of Cotoneaster. My wild polytunnel. And here's a path that I cleared only about probably less than 2 months ago. Look, I've got to get in here and hack it all back. Oh, it's wonderful to see so much abundance. It really is. Especially in this world today, where there seems to be so much, you know, so many downers. What do we call it? I'm not going to call it depressing because I don't take that much notice of it. But in a world that seems to be forlorn, and of course it's not forlorn, it's just the ruling parties, the ruling people, who are all useless. Quite useless human beings, I think. But stay close to nature, hunker down, stay close to her, and you won't go wrong. There's another little compost pile I've got going. And I bought another bin. This is actually a compost bin, but I'm using it for compost. Because with all the visitors I've had, you see, there's quite a lot of compost going on, which is great. Absolutely brilliant. No complaints here. The more the merrier. And there's my compost heap. And you all know the difference between compost and compost. Oh, there's a little bird. That little rascal was up there, look, eating the berries. Look at his little wagtail. The birds are becoming more and more tame. Look at all these blackcurrants, look. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now I'll have to have a couple because they're just delicious. Wow. Delicious. Me with my earthy hands. Never mind. Vitamin B12. We get that from the earth. Little bit of a breeze up there, which is just gorgeous. So many people ask me, Colette, how do you celebrate all these lovely Celtic festivals? Well, first of all, I start my celebration as the sun sets. So obviously when it comes to Samhain and Imbolc, which are just before and after winter, it gets dark quite early. This time of the year, of course, it gets dark much later. So I start the celebration by lighting a fire in my ceremonial fire pit there, and I acknowledge the ancestors. So photographs, memories, little things that belong to them, They're all spread out. They're all around the cottage. It's kind of decorating the cottage with the ancestors. So thereby you're inviting them in, you see. Then there's food. And it's got to be homemade food. None of you run into the supermarket to get a few tubs of this or a few packets of that. No, homemade food. Good, simple, homemade food. And but plenty of it. Plenty of it so you share. Then there's drink. Well, I do have flagons of homemade wine. Still waiting to be drunk. But alcoholic drink or soft drinks, teas, coffees, it doesn't matter. Just something to wet the palate. And then there's guests. Invite those you love. Invite those who have nowhere else. Invite. Invite and share. Because all of these festivals are about sharing. They're about community coming together. They're about people sharing an event and celebrating. Very hard to celebrate on your own. And then there's light. Lots and lots of light. So, little tea lights in little containers, sometimes just jam jars and string, placed around the gardens, so we can walk and have some light guide our way. Lughnasadh, of course, is a great harvest festival. And the harvest doesn't come all at once, we all know that. And it doesn't all come in the same months, we all know that too. The harvest comes over a period of time, but it starts in August. Here in the west of Ireland, it's August. So August, of course, is the first month of what you would call autumn, but we would call harvest. And then September, of course, you get different fruits and different vegetables and different nuts and seeds at each month. So September brings something different. And then the final one is October. And the October one's quite important. Oh, I just stood underneath the wasp's nest. No, they don't sting me. I don't bother them, they don't bother me. So we have this wonderful grand finale, which of course is Samhain. Well, it's not quite Samhain, it's the beginning of Samhain. That's the month of October. And Samhain, of course, is on the 1st of November. Now, these celebrations have been celebrated for millennia, absolute millennia. There is no golden rule how to celebrate anything. We know that they're there because they were written about in the old books. The Táin, the Book of Invasions. All the old books relate to them. So, we celebrate. And celebration, really, just is quite a simple thing. You have your fire, your heat, your warmth, your light, your drink, your food, and all those that you want to celebrate with. Now, if you have any questions about the beautiful Celtic celebration of the year, the Wheel of the Year, and of course this isn't Wiccan, there's nothing New Age, this is older than you can ever imagine. This is going back into the mists of time. There is no format. There is no dogma. The Celtic peoples didn't like dogma. They didn't like being told what to do. We still don't like to be told what to do. It's in our blood. There is no ritual of, you know, drawing a circle or anything like that. This is about ancient celebration. Well, there we go. But if you have any questions, perhaps you'd like to leave them in the comments below. Now, I don't answer questions on the comments, but I will take what you ask about into consideration for the next video. So blessings to you all on this beautiful, beautiful day. Yes, I still have painting to do. You know me, I get everything done, but it's all in kind of what my mother used to call dribs and drabs. I want to say a huge thank you to Dorina, who brought me up this lovely white hydrangea. And I also want to say a huge thank you for this beautiful celebration of Lughnasadh. Look at the goddess on there. Oh, I've got to, hold on a wee moment. Be back in a tick. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've got to say a special thank you to Rex. Of course I should have known it was you, Rex, because you sent me another beautiful goddess before, which I still have hanging up in the new bedroom. She's gorgeous, look at that. Look at that. Blessed be. And blessed be to you, my friend. So, I think I'm going to be having potatoes tonight for my dinner. Blessings to you all. So this was Bealtaine Cottage at the very beginning in 2004. This was the lane leading up to the cottage, as you can see. And this was the view from the front door. Well, it's a different view now.